Good morning. We are at Disney's Pop Century Resort. We are going to take a look around the resort, do a room tour, take a look at the Skyliner, and explore everything this resort has to offer. So come along with us. So when you walk in the lobby area, you can see to the left is where you check in, and to the right there's some seating. So let's go ahead and take a look a little further into this resort. So as I said, to the left is check-in, and then to the right over here, there's a little seating area for the kids to wait while you check in. So there's seating. Looks like there's a little craft table over here and some chairs to relax in. And I see Space Invaders over there. Look at that retro machine. And there's a TV in here as well. Okay, so let's take a walk down here and see the store, and there's also the food court. So here's a little screen here where you can see what decade you're staying in on this trip. Oh, look at that. Nice little interactive screen. And here's a Disney Vacation Club kiosk. So down at the end of this hallway to the left is the transportation and the business center. So that's where you pick up the bus to go to the different parks. Straight ahead we have everything pop, shopping and dining. So it's a little different from the other all-star resorts because they're two separate areas. There's shopping to the left and then the food to the right. This is all together. So we'll take a look inside. And then to the right is where you go out to the pool. So inside the shopping area to the left, you see souvenirs, pins, things like that. And then over to the right, there are more souvenirs and things like candy. I don't see an area where you get grab and go. I'll bet you that's inside, where you can grab things like milk. We'll take a walk inside. So here's a sign that explains your quick service meals for guests on the Disney dining plan. And then all down here at the bottom, there's snack plan eligible items. So it talks about the items that you can get for your snacks. When you are at the Pop Century Resort, you have to have the tie-dye cheesecake. All right, who's gonna dig in first? You gonna dig in?
I'll try a bite of this.
All right, let's see. Get on in there. Ooh, look at that. How is it?
Good.
It's very colorful. Let's turn it around a little bit. Look at that. That's good stuff.
Really good.
So when you walk into the left, there's a nice large seating area. There's a lot of seating in this dining area, I've noticed. So there's a TV over there if you want to hang out. So this looks really cool. They have painting with a pop. That's a pretty awesome picture to paint. Interesting. I think they offer this at some of the other resorts as well. So over here to the right, there's a lot of additional seating and the beverage stations. And then we're coming into where you can order all of your food items, and it's breakfast time, so it's not too busy yet. They just opened. So here's a station over here where they have cinnamon rolls and waffles, and you can also order a bounty platter there. So that's kind of nice. This side, there are additional breakfast items you can order. This is where you get your refillable mugs. I know a lot of people like to get the refillable mugs. So it's $19.99 for the entire length of your stay. It includes fountain drinks, coffee, and tea. This is the grab and go section. There are drinks here, and there's milk and beer and wine as well. There's also fruit and salad. Not too bad. Here's some other juices, Coke products, and iced tea. And then over here, there are the sweet items. And I noticed they were here in the evening too. So this is here all the time, all these options. And then there are also fresh baked goods available. Everything looks good. And over here, cereals and other options like cookies, and they're all marked as snack options, so that's nice. So if you're on the dining plan, those items count as a snack option. And here are some other options as well for snacks. Some more breakfast options. And over here, it looks like you can order omelets. So that's a nice choice also, if you're looking for something different. So once you come back out of the doors where they have the dining and the shopping, there is also an arcade to the right. And then here is a resort experience guide. So it kind of tells you everything that's going on while you're here. So that's really nice. Then outside of these doors is the pool. So let's take a walk outside. So we came out the doors, and here is the pool area straight ahead. And then to the left, we have some rooms, and to the right as well. We'll take a look at a directory straight ahead. Before we take a look at the directory, they also have recreation activities listed out here by the pool. So they have movies under the stars, and they have all the different activities throughout the day. So if you're taking a break from the parks, there is a lot to do at the resort. So here is the directory of the pool, and here is a directory of the resort, and you can see here we are at the pool area. There's the lobby and retail store, everything inside, everything you would want inside of that Everything Pop building. Or I guess it's called the Classic Hall building. So everything you want is inside the Classic Hall building. And then down here is the actual resort layout. So you could see you have the different sections. When you come out of Classic Hall, you have to the left 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then to the right, you have the 50s. And then straight ahead is the 60s. And you can also see where the parking is. I'm looking to see if you can see where the Skyliner is. And it doesn't tell you on here, I don't think. But you see up there at the top, it says the Disney's Art of Animation Resort. There's a bridge there right across Hourglass Lake. That's where the Skyliner picks you up. So these resorts are actually connected, which I did not know. So the pool is closed right now, but this is a really cool looking pool. Cool looking pool. And you could see by the theming around it, it's the 60s. So peace, love, happiness. There's Mowgli and Baloo. Can you dig it? Yes, I can. Duncan Imperial yo-yos. Pretty awesome. Let's take a walk back to the 50s and the 60s. Heading over to the 50s and 60s by the pool, you can see there's also restrooms and a laundry area. So that's really convenient. So here is the You Are Here. This is where we are right now. We're getting ready to head over by the 50s. And you can see this classic hall really extends, and it looks like they're doing some work there. Not sure what they're doing, but they're doing some work on the building. Let's take a walk back to the 50s. So back here in the 50s, this theming is pretty neat. There's Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Sock Hop, nice wheels. There's the Tramp, looking pretty awesome. They also have their own little pool back here with, I see bowling balls. I'm sure those bowling balls are glued down because bowling balls in a swimming pool, I don't know about that, how safe that is. If you look back there, it looks like a jukebox. Really neat theming. I would imagine with all of these signs, it really takes, how you can see at the top where it says the most and bebop, cool rock. I would imagine it takes a lot of maintenance. I'm sure they're constantly painting that, unless it's made out of a certain material that doesn't weather in the sun or the weather, but just a lot of signage around here that I would imagine takes a lot of maintenance. How cool that is. There's a little doghouse that goes with the whole theming of Lady and the Tramp, and when I looked around the other side, it's actually a storage area. But how about how they fit that right into the theming, and it also is where they have storage for lawn maintenance equipment. What a cool idea, Disney. It looks like there's laundry back here too, so we'll have to check it out. Maybe each area has their own laundry, which is also really convenient. So I was over here checking out this jukebox, and I looked to the left over here, and I see the Skyliner. So let's take a walk back. We're over in the 50s section, and it looks like the Skyliner Station's right here. So I walked over here from the 50s area, and as you can see, there is the Skyliner. Now, it's not necessarily the station. The station's right over there, so it's not too far, but there she is, right over Hourglass Lake, and across the lake there you can see Art of Animation. So this is just super cool this morning. While we're at it, we'll take a walk down this path and see where it leads us, and we'll go check out the Skyliner Station. I also noticed throughout the resort there's a lot of neat information about each of the decades. So back in 1958, a hula hoop cost $1.98. 25 million are sold in 2 months. Oh, wow. There's a squirrel up there causing some trouble. I don't know what he's up to. There he is up there, busy as could be. And just like that, we are in the 60s. The census shows women heading to work in record numbers, and the laser is created. That is actually a stairwell inside of that yo-yo. Pretty cool way to keep those hidden and keep the theming going. So here we are at the Skyliner Station, and this is in the 60s area. If you look back there, straight back is the pool and the classic hall area. So it's all kind of interconnected here. But the Skyliner Station is in the 60s section, which I'm learning. So that's really convenient. So I walked over the bridge over to Art of Animation past the Skyliner Station. So we're just over into Art of Animation now. And I noticed it's 8 o'clock in the morning and there is a huge line. And what I found out was this Skyliner Station doesn't open till 8 a.m. So even though there are extra magic hours, if you're staying on property at Hollywood Studios at 6 a.m., this station doesn't open till 8 o'clock. So keep that in mind if you want to head to Hollywood Studios early to take advantage of the extra magic hours between 6 and 9. If it's between the hours of 6 and 8, you have to take a bus. And then 8 o'clock, the Skyliner opens. So just something to keep in mind. I'm surprised they don't have it open at 6, but those are the rules. Yes, this is quite the line, but hopefully it moves quick for everybody waiting. They haven't opened the gates yet, and it's actually a little bit after 8, so looks like they're getting ready to open it now. So just as a note, 8:02 they started letting people in. Let's see how quickly this line moves. So the line is definitely moving, but I think it's moving fairly slow just because they're trying to get everybody on. They're asking how many people are in each party. And I don't think they're doubling people up, but I could be wrong. So I actually talked to someone in the line, and it appeared that from where they were standing, it took them about 10 minutes to get through. So even though the line appeared to be fairly long, once they get these up and moving, it doesn't take very long, probably 10 to 15 minutes at the most to get through it. I don't even think 15, probably 10. So just FYI. Here is also a running trail that is here at the resort, and it's 1.3 miles around the lake. So you are here and you can go around the lake. It seems like it'd be longer than that, but 1.3 miles. Not bad. Over here. Now we are heading into the 70s, which look very similar to the 60s. But let's check out the theming over there in the 70s. So would you look at that, an 8-track tape for the 70s. And I noticed these stairwells aren't covered like they are in some of the other eras. So in the 50s there's a bowling pin, the 60s there's a yo-yo, 70s it's open. So that's interesting. There's our view across the way over to Art of Animation. Look at how cool that is, Piston Peak. Look at this neat theming in the 70s over here. There's a big wheel and a foosball table. A big wheel. I had one of those. Memories. There is Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head in the 80s. And the Rubik's Cube for the stairwells. Love that. So here we are on the map. You are here in the 80s, so I think we've covered everything except the 90s. So let's take a walk over to the 90s and check that out. So here's a sign that shows us which buildings are which. 80s is building 7, 90s is building 8, and then 80s is building 9. So I'm not sure why the 90s is right in the middle of the 80s, but I guess it's all interconnected somehow. And there's another guest laundry, so it appears there's laundry just about everywhere, which is cool. So part of the theming for 80s is Roger Rabbit and Pac-Man. I remember that. And then over here for 90s, there's a Walkman, which I also remember, and more Pac-Man and breakdancing. So I guess they're all interconnected somehow. 80s and 90s sort of overlap. And there's a pool here in between both sections of 80s and 90s. So that's nice. Pools everywhere. Hey, little frog at Pop Century. Wonder how he made his way up here.
This is a flight of stairs up too.
He's adorable. So here is our room at Pop Century for the next few days. And what did you say when we walked in, Abby?
So it's really nice in here.
She's like, why is it so nice? And I said, well, these rooms are all refurbished. So you can see, you come in and it's got some nice flooring. And here's a pull down bed that's actually a table. So we could actually just leave it up since it's just the two of us, right?
Yep.
So, and there's the TV, a dresser, there's a refrigerator there. I actually see, what is that hiding behind our bags? Is that a coffee maker? It is. I don't think they used to have coffee makers at value resorts. So that's really nice. So take a walk over here. Yeah, it's really nice. It smells nice and new. And here's the door here. I think this is a sliding door, right? Wow. A sliding door. So that's new for a value resort, right?
Yeah.
Here's some racks, two racks, pegs, so that you can hang your hat or your jackets. And then over here are the side tables with lots of plugs and USB ports. How many did you say there were, Abby?
There were
I think you counted.
something altogether.
30 some
Like I
charging.
bricks and USBs.
Yeah. So this gives you instructions here. This gives you instructions on how to pull down the bed. So that is pretty awesome. All right, so, okay, now we're headed into the restroom area, and you can see there's a sink, and there's an ironing board, here's a closet, and everything is just so new. I'm loving these refurbished rooms. So with the bathroom door here, it's like a sliding door. It's really cool with a mirror. So I like that, it's heavy. Nice heavy door. And then this is the bathroom area. And this is looks like a brand new shower. Wow. So I have to say, this room is a lot nicer than our room was at Caribbean Beach. It's just, everything's brand new. I'm really liking that. Here's some towel racks. And a nice amount of space in here. So this is the angle of the room. I believe this is a double bed. So it's not a queen bed, it is a little bit smaller.
Looks like there's space underneath a bunch of suitcases.
Oh, and there are. Good point. Space underneath for your suitcases. And I do like these floors rather than the carpeting. And there's cubbies and storage everywhere. And this table, again, it's really nice to have this table here. I also wanted to show you under here, this storage is kind of cool. That's where the safe is. I was wondering where the safe was. But there's some storage under there too, alongside these drawers on this side. So this is our building, and our stairs are a big Rubik's Cube. There's some lawn maintenance going on. Sorry about that. I do like about the resort is there are a lot of green spaces around here. There's a little playground here, but there's a lot of trees and foliage. I think it keeps it cooler, and it looks pretty darn nice. You could see the bus stops in front of the building, and there's actually one bus stop for the entire resort, but it's kind of nice because I think the buses run pretty well. And there's our Rubik's Cube back there, so we were lucky. We were very close to the bus stop. show you. I got breakfast for myself and Abby, and I cut it in half. I got a breakfast sandwich, and look at that. For $6.79, that's a half. And it's pretty substantial. You could actually share that. That's a nice breakfast. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I think that's a nice option and definitely enough to share. So here is our last look at the pool. People are actually in it, and it looks fun. We didn't even get to use it, did we?
No.
But it's here, and I would say if you like to swim, take advantage of it. Okay, outro for Pop Century.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was really nice with the rooms that were like remodeled.
Yeah, so the rooms were really nice, the remodeled rooms. I thought there was a lot of neat theming. Yeah, I'd say the room was the best part. We didn't really spend a whole lot of time there. We didn't really get to use the pool, so that was kind of a bummer. But it was a quick trip, but we got to see everything we wanted to see. Skyliner is a nice option. I have to say, just before we came here, we had to use not airline check-in, but we had to use bell services, and it was the longest line ever.
It was
there was
really long.
one person working there, so we waited a long time to check our bags to hold for the day. So just be prepared for that, because it is a large resort. So, but I did like the fact there was a lot of green around, and I have to say, you know, out of all of the value resorts, I think I like it the best because of the Skyliner.
It really is really nice.
Yeah, it gives you a nice option. I would imagine Art of Animation is the same. So, oh, thank you. Art of Animation would be the same as far as just giving you options to use the Skyliner. So that is it. Oh, the food court was nice too. I thought it was decent. It was decent. So, and again, we loved the room. That was probably the best part. And that'll do it. So thanks for watching, everyone. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We would love to have you join in on our adventures. So until next time.